Imagine being humiliated so badly at school that you had to cut off all your hair. That happened to me. But instead of letting it break me, I planned a revenge so perfect that when I finally pulled it off, he was the one everyone laughed at, not me. If you've ever wanted to get back at someone who embarrassed you, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and get ready for one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. My name is D'Souza. I wasn't the kind of kid anyone noticed in school. I wasn't loud. I didn't crack jokes. I didn't even hang out with people much. Every day, my routine was simple. I went to class, sat quietly, studied, and went home. I wasn't unpopular exactly, but I was invisible. But invisibility in high school isn't safety. It's an invitation. When you're quiet, when you don't fight back, people think they can mess with you. One afternoon, after class had ended, I was walking in the hallway, lost in thought. That's when he showed up. Samama. Now, Samama wasn't the biggest guy in school. He wasn't even the smartest. But he was the kind of person who always had a cruel smirk, always chewing gum or blowing bubbles, like he was too cool for everyone else. And for some reason, that day, he decided I was his target. He walked past me, stopped, then turned around. His jaw moved slowly as he chewed, his eyes locked on me. I froze. He stepped right in front of me, smirking, blowing his bubble gum like he owned the place. Before I could react, he pulled something out of his mouth. At first I thought it was just the gum. But no, it was a hair clip. In one quick, disgusting motion, he jammed it into my hair. At first, I thought it was a stupid prank. I reached up, tried to pull it out. But the clip was sticky, tangled, and as I yanked, more of my hair knotted together. Panic set in. Other students saw me struggling. A couple laughed. My face burned hot with shame. By the time I got home that night, there was only one option left. I had to cut off my hair. All of it. I stood in the mirror, scissors in hand, watching strands of myself fall into the sink. Every snip was another reminder of what Samama had done. By the end, I didn't even recognize myself. The next day at school, people noticed. Some whispered, some laughed, some just stared. But what haunted me most wasn't their reaction. It was his smirk. Samama, leaning against the wall, looking at me like I was the punchline to a joke only he got. That moment carved itself into me. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw him standing there, chewing, smirking, winning. And something inside me snapped. I wasn't going to let this go. I wasn't the type to fight. I wasn't the type to shout or start drama. But this was different. This wasn't just about hair. It was about dignity. And I wanted revenge. But how do you get revenge on someone like Samama? He was smug, untouchable, always walking around like he owned the hallways. Then it hit me. He used a hair clip to humiliate me. So my revenge? It was going to involve hair clips too. I went to a shop and bought a bunch. 10, maybe more. And I had a plan so crazy, so reckless, that even I wasn't sure I could pull it off. The next day, I slipped the clips into my bag. Later, when no one was looking, I shoved 8 of them into my mouth, just like he had. It felt gross, awkward, like I was choking on metal. But I was determined. I waited. My heart pounded every time I saw him. Then finally, Samama stepped out of class, walking down the hallway. Alone. This was my chance. I walked right up to him, just like he had with me. Our eyes locked. This time, I didn't look down. His smirk faltered. Maybe he sensed something was different. And then, one by one, I spat the clips into my hand and slammed them into his hair. Over and over, until his head was full of tangled, sticky clips. The look on his face? Shock. Pure shock. I didn't wait to see what he'd do. I bolted, heart racing, straight back to class, pretending nothing happened. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept imagining what he'd do. Would he get mad? Would he come after me? The next day, I found out. Samama walked into school, and I almost fell out of my chair laughing. He hadn't shaved his head. He hadn't even fixed it properly. Instead, he had just cut out chunks of his hair where the clips had been. So instead of looking normal, he looked ridiculous, patchy, uneven, like a failed haircut experiment. And the best part? Everyone noticed. The same classmates who had laughed at me were now laughing at him. Every whisper, every chuckle, it was all directed at Samama. For once, I wasn't invisible. I wasn't the joke. He was. I can still see his face. His smirk was gone, replaced with embarrassment, anger, and a kind of helplessness I knew too well. And you know what? It felt incredible. Every laugh he had gotten at my expense, Every moment I had spent in shame, it all came crashing back onto him. Looking back, it wasn't just about hair. It was about balance, about showing him, and myself, that I wasn't someone who could just be walked over. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge isn't destroying someone. It's making sure they destroy themselves. If this story gave you chills, or maybe even made you laugh, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe, because there are plenty more stories like this coming your way.